Hello, beautiful unicorns. Yana Kasperczak coming to you live from Ontario of Canada, where it's nice and hot. And as your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach, it has been my soul's purpose to help women, to help you get your shit together so you can break free from the mental prison you find yourself in and build a business, life, and or career that you're obsessed with, that you are proud to call yours and excited to wake up to every single day. So today, as you can see, we're in a different spot. I thought, hey, why not take you around the cottage in some of these videos and show you different backgrounds, really. So at the dock today, as you can clearly tell, I wanted to talk about kindness today and why kindness matters. And ignore any rustling that you hear, and this is just my dog climbing everywhere because leaves are falling down. They make a lot of noise. Or my son as well, who's trying to creep around here.
I got my baby gun.
Trying to be as quiet as he can. Okay, Ethan.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
Go inside and put that away. Okay, so now let's talk about why kindness matters. Before I share my thoughts, I'd love to hear yours. Why do you think kindness matters? What is kindness? Do you know what kindness is? I would imagine you do, so I'm not going to go into the detailed explanation of what kindness is, but it's being nice. It's the phrase that comes to mind is, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's kindness as well. If you see someone struggling and you are able to help. If you see an animal in need and you are able to help. You see a friend going through a really hard time, help. But it goes a little bit beyond just, actually, let me put my phone on silent. I thought I already did that, but I forgot. So, let me remove this. Kindness. Are you being kind to yourself? Are you being nice to yourself? Are you being positive? Are you naturally an optimist and maybe you forgot how to be because the world finally got to you? Now see, I am naturally, always have been an optimist. But when I started to go through my spiritual awakening, one thing I realized is that I wasn't being nice to myself. I wasn't being kind to myself. I started bullying myself. And I don't even know when that started or how that started. I mean, the how, it's been passed on, right? From hearing people around, from watching things, from being told things or shared things, that you start to take them on a little bit. And I became a bit of a pessimist, which means that my positivity, even though I would say it and speak it, inside it was not the same. It was more like wishful thinking. It was more like trying to be positive but not actually being positive, because there is a difference. People with an optimistic outlook, they tend to cultivate positivity within their lives each and every single day, until looking on the bright side becomes a habit. So just like the negativity, the being mean and a bully to yourself and to others, whether you're aware of it or not. Most people are not aware of it. Once they become aware of it, then they change their ways, they change their habits. So my pessimism was a habit. And any habit can be broken, it can be changed, right? Which is partially mindset as well. Meaning that when you surround yourself with negative people, that's gonna rub off on you, and you will become a negative person. Simply by proximity, you become those you surround yourself with and spend most of your time with. So I became that way because everyone around me was just negative, negative, negative. And my positivity was not making much of a dent, and it was being drowned out. It's like, I'm sure at this point you've seen this experiment, this little experiment where you have a cup of water and you put, let's say, food coloring in it or some dirt in it, and you would need to pour a lot more water to clean out all that dirt, all that color, all that negativity, and it's gonna take some time. But now imagine everyone keeps dropping their own color in that water, and you keep pouring. Eventually you're gonna lose. It's gonna feel like you're losing, because it's like everybody's just negative, and there seems to be not enough time in the day to drown out that negativity and be positive. So look at who you are surrounding yourself with. The people that are the kindest people, and it's evident that they have been through some shit. They know what it's like to receive unkindness. She gallops and shakes the whole dog. They know what it's like to be on the receiving end of unkindness, of someone being mean, hurtful. And even though they're doing that to themselves and talking to themselves in that way, externally they're super nice and super kind. They are an ideal good girl. Now, at the same time, once they start healing themselves, that positivity is going to be inside and out. But it's going to be little by little, not all at once. Right? So, let me see what else can we say about kindness. I'll give you a little bit of the reason why I decided to go with this topic with kindness is because when I started when I was going through a really, really dark time, I became obsessed with collecting and gathering all sorts of different things that most people would consider garbage. And I loved practicing basically like arts and crafts, and recycling and upcycling these items and making something new or different from something that people wanted to throw away and toss. And it was my way of self-expression, my safe place, my healing place. And I did that for quite some time. Actually, still use that in my day-to-day activities, or the DIYs, or renovations. Everything that we go through, we learn certain things that are meant to be for us that we will be using later on, or within that same time frame. So here's the reason why I'm telling you this, is because for me, that was was my medicine. That was my tool. That was really helping me heal and grow and evolve and learn. And this week I joined a Facebook group that is about upcycling, recycling, and DIY. And there's one person who asked a question. She has a wax melting kind of candle on her kitchen counter, and she just asked, how do I hide the wire so I don't see the wire? And it's a beautiful one, really nice, and I can tell that she took time to even set up the scenery and everything. And I was actually surprised to see, and yet I'm not surprised because trolls are everywhere. I was just surprised and yet not surprised, and yet surprised to see the mean comments, the unnecessary little jabs, and people trying to get a message across that you shouldn't be burning these things, they're not good for your health, this and this and that. Really just not necessary. She did not ask for none of that. Just simply answer the question and help. Show some kindness. So I went on there reading the comments because I myself don't like wires, and I thought, ooh, I might find some interesting ideas. I will tell you that a lot of the comments were not nice. People are not that kind, just trolling, and I felt like I needed to say something also for the person that posted, so that way she sees and feels that there's someone on her side and sees what's going on. Because I also was surprised to see that nobody was saying anything until I commented, shared my thoughts and the importance of kindness, because you never know what someone is going through, and using this as a tool to help them on their journey and heal. And a lot of people were commenting on my comment, but nobody said anything before that. And I'm saying this because if you see something like this and you want to say something, because you never know what your words can do to someone or for someone. You can make or break a person, if you will. The leaves are just falling. You can make or break a person. You can uplift them. You can change their whole entire day. It almost looks like she's like fishing, looking for something in the water. She doesn't really like to go much in the water. And really, this is where it came from. This idea of why kindness matters, why it's important. It's like, what I'm picturing is one of the things what happened to me when I was young, when I was still even learning the language. I came here from Russia in 1999, so I was 13 years old, 13 and a half to be precise. And I wasn't really into learning at school, so I didn't really, even though I was taking English, I wasn't taking it seriously. I wasn't learning because I also didn't know we were going to be coming here, and it doesn't even matter, I probably still wouldn't have learned. So it took me a minute to learn the language, not a long minute, but a minute. And I remember I had friends. So on the first day of grade 9, I made a friend who was also new to Canada, and of course we became fast friends, and we were friends for most of the grade 9 and helped each other to learn English as well and spent a lot of time together. And of course, some people, when they find better friends, quote unquote, they leave you in the dust. And then some people that leave you in the dust, they do it in the way of making sure that these friends that they're becoming friends with also don't like you. So, and we've all had bullies. I've had quite a few bullies in my life, and it didn't last very long, because if you don't give in to them and you know better, then it can get to you. And also it comes from being an old soul. So she decided to go and write in the bathroom that Lisa is a bitch. Now, this was, how do I put it? This was basically her writing it, but then going and telling Lisa that I was the one that wrote it, because she wanted to be friends with Lisa and tried to make sure that I wasn't. And it was really easy to prove that it wasn't me by showing my writing. Look at all of my books, all of my writing, and you can see that's not my writing. So, and of course, yeah, whatever. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Now, on the way home, honestly, it doesn't matter if it was the same day or the next day or whatever it was. On the way home, she decided to bring a couple of other friends to beat me up, surrounded me all around. And I'm a little person. Everyone around me is always taller. I'm 5'1", and everyone was either like 5'4" and up. So, long story short, I wouldn't have backed down. I grew up fighting for myself and standing up for myself. Different way of living in a different country. So, what ended up happening is there was a boy at the school who, now I understand like how he was living and the choices that he was making, the good and the bad, and the really good choices. And what ended up happening is this dog. He just, because he saw this happening, he just walked right into the circle where I was inside the circle and grabbed my hand and walked out. And we've never spoken, we're not friends, but he knew that this was not going to be a good turnout, right? I don't know for who, probably for all, but anyways, regardless, that was one of the kindest things that I will forever remember and cherish and appreciate. And just like being kind doesn't take much to others. You see someone being bullied, right, as I was in that moment. There was another moment right in the actual school. Some girls were trying to beat me up in school, and of course I wouldn't back down. I wouldn't take nothing. I've had enough practice back in Russia, like I said, and of course there's some boys were walking by and they knew that those girls were going to get it, because I was just livid, and they just surrounded me to protect them. That was another kindness, right? And then there's other times where, people could have been kind, but they weren't, and they didn't say anything, they didn't do anything, they just added to the experience, and in a way made things worse. But our bullies are there to help us grow. So even though you're seeing something and you're standing up for the person, the damage essentially has been done, and there's already an experience that is going to be carried forward. But if you don't do anything, if you don't say anything, then that damage will stay, and they will feel alone and lonely and isolated, like no one was there to help them, no one was behind them. And it's nice to to also be a kind stranger. Now, also with yourself, when you catch yourself being mean to yourself, saying even things that I'm not good enough or I don't do enough, that's a bully within you that is coming to you and telling you these things that you know are not true. So treat that bully as if you would if that bully was standing right in front of you and telling you these things and trying to keep you down due to their own fears, due to their own beliefs. To start, if you want to be more of an optimist, you got to look for positive things in ordinary daily activities and experiences. For example, like notice the way the sun shines through the clouds as you walk outside, as you're walking your dog, or as you're walking through. Notice how beautiful the water and how still the water looks. Notice how the leaves look and how the leaves are falling down. Notice these ordinary things that you normally wouldn't. Notice how there's no clouds in the sky. And I love clouds. I mean, there are tiny little ones here and there, but you can't really see them. But you can focus on the tiny little cloud. And maybe feeling the sun on your skin or the water on your skin. Maybe if you like to go outside in your bare feet, which I would recommend doing as well, how soft the grass is. Or maybe if you get out there in the morning and there's morning dew, how it feels on your feet and under your feet. And like I said, who you spend most of your time with is going to rub off on you. So spend time with positive people that will naturally help you to boost and feel boosted, like boost your positivity, and you will feel boosted and uplifted and motivated and inspired. You can also even call someone who is optimistic and chat or arrange a meetup. It doesn't take very much. And you never know, maybe that person needs something as well. And it really takes 7 minutes for your mood to be changed. So if you're really, really struggling and really going through a hard time, call someone and talk for 7 minutes. You can even let some of these people know in your life about this concept of all it takes is 7 or maybe even 8 minutes to be uplifted and positive and change your mood. That when you send someone a message, there goes the horsey galloping, that when you send someone a message and say, do you have 8 minutes to chat, they will already know exactly why. And then they can do the same thing when they just 8 minutes. 8 minutes, talk to someone. Now, another option that even I myself found very helpful, especially as an introvert, and those of you that are introverted, you might find this helpful as well, and that is send someone a voice message for 7 or 8 minutes, voice message, as if you're talking and you're just talking, expressing and releasing whatever it is, right? You can even give heads up. I just want to chat with you for 8 minutes, right? So that way they know that this message is essentially you using your helpline. Anyways, that's all I wanted to share and talk about today. As you can tell, I'm tired. I know the importance of sleep and making sure you get proper, good quality sleep, and what happens when you don't get the good quality sleep or you don't sleep properly, which I haven't been doing for the past 2 days, not gonna lie. is this, where I'm tired, I'm just slow processing, slow thinking, and I'm gonna use the word lazy because I'm okay with being lazy and taking it easier today, yesterday, and tomorrow, and probably the day after tomorrow. I mean, there's nothing fast paced here. Even if you just, I mean, aside from the dog running, that's the only fast pace. But I'm gonna get back to trimming the dog because I trimmed half of her. Some of you probably wouldn't even notice because she's usually at a distance. But I just have to trim 2 of her paws. They get all fluffy, floofy. And between her toes, the fur gets a little knotted. And it's also easier and quicker for her paws to dry with all the wetness that's around here. Anyways, I'm gonna go and do that really slowly on my own pace and rest for the rest of the day. Hopefully I didn't put anyone to sleep. And if I did, maybe you needed it as well. Maybe I'll take a nap. I haven't... Oh my god, she's right in the water. That's great. I haven't had a nap for a while. I don't think she wants me to trim her paws. Maybe it'll be easier. Okay, I'll go see. Oh my god, this child. Okay, she's now here, soaked all the way to her chest. Yep, there we go. Okay, I shall go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay warm or stay cool depending on how the weather is where you are. My sniffers is right here. And until we see each other next week for another one of these weekly get your shit together live guidance, where I bring something to you hitchhikers. Gotta love those. Where I bring a topic to you that comes from my experiences, your experiences, and experiences of other women that are on their healing and emotional healing and spiritual awakening journeys, and that are growing. That's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. That's all she said. And until next time, thanks guys. Bye.